I hope you had a great weekend. My name is Curtis, and finally the international break is over and we can start concentrating on our fantasy Premier League teams again. And if you've logged back in to your team this week, you have seen that Mo Salah is flagged. Now I'm here to give you advice and help you with your decision and whether you should keep or sell Mo Salah. Unfortunately, the Egyptian has tested positive to COVID while on international duty and is flagged. Now, interesting enough, okay, we got some good sources and it is from Anfield Watch, and they said today in a tweet that Mo Salah looks certain to miss Sunday's clash with Leicester, and even if he returns to Liverpool and is given the COVID all clear, under new arrangements set up by the league, he must complete the 10-day isolation period before he is allowed to play again. Now that's pretty big news, okay? So it's pretty much saying he's gonna miss the Leicester game on the weekend coming up, and there's a good possibility that he's gonna have to self-isolate for 10 days. Now, whether he's gonna do that when he returns to England or before he returns to England, I'm not too sure, okay? So it sounds like to me the second game, when he returns, is 50-50. Now, is he going to be fit enough to play? Is he not? Obviously, he's not going to be playing any matches, so he's probably not going to be match fit. But I would say he's probably training, but then again, he's got COVID. Maybe he's not. So it's 50-50 whether it's going to be 2 games or not. Now, should you keep him or should you sell him? Now, there's 2 different scenarios in my opinion, which I'm here to help you pick. Now, what should you do? Okay. Now, it really depends on your team and your structure, the way you've set up. The first scenario is your team is set up where you have spread your money evenly throughout the team, where you have good bench cover, where you can keep Mo Salah on your bench for 1, possibly 2 weeks max, and you can still score with the players that are coming off your bench. Okay, so you're probably going to have decent defenders throughout, decent midfielders, and good forwards. Okay, now if you're in that scenario, I would keep Mo Salah, providing it's only 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, even if it's 2 weeks, I would be thinking of selling, because 12.3 million is a lot of money to be sitting on your bench where you could be scoring points, and he is dropping in value. So I would just say keep, but consider selling if he does miss that second game. Now, in the second scenario, like myself, I don't really have a good bench cover. I've put a lot of money in my starting 11 because I just thought that this year, being COVID and not many breaks, that there's a lot of value in your cheap defenders. Okay, so I've gone big in the midfield and I've gone big up front. Okay, now I've already got Salah and I've got Mane as well, and Son and Harry Kane. So I've gone with all the big heavy hitters. Okay, now I've got not much of a bench cover at all. Now in this situation, okay, I would advise to sell Mo Salah, okay, because he's dropping in value, and there's a good possibility, like I said, it's 50-50 whether he's going to play that second game or not. Now, like I said, my bench cover is not the best, okay? Now, if I sell Mo Salah, obviously I can get someone long term, okay? Maybe I would get someone short term, but the best advice I can give you guys is if you are going to sell Mo Salah, work out a way where he comes back into your team, okay? Now, whether that be straight away or whether that may be you might want to see him come back first, get fit first, probably see him get attacking returns first, and then bring him back into your team. But I will say, bottom line, you must figure out a way to get him back in your team because he is the best in the game. We've seen him destroying the Premier League this season already. He's pretty much got attacking returns in every game he has played. So figure out a way to get Mo Salah back in your team if you decide to sell him. Now, if you do decide to sell him, I've got some replacements for you to think about. Now, if you do decide to sell Mo Salah, I've got 5 replacements for you to consider, to think about who you should be bringing in. Now, these 5 replacements Some are short-term, 2 to 3 week players, the way you buy them in, you cover Mo Salah, and then you bring Mo Salah back in your team. Or I've got a couple in here that are longer term, where you bring him in, keep him in your team for about 10 to 15 weeks, possibly, and then sell someone else, like a Son, Heung-min Son, or a Harry Kane, where they've got bad fixtures coming up, or difficult fixtures, I shouldn't say bad, difficult fixtures coming up, where you could bring Mo Salah in that way as well. But yes, some players you should be considering. Now, the first one here, we got Diogo Jota. Okay, now he's a lot cheaper than Mo Salah at 6.5 million, but he is someone that you should be thinking about if you want to bring in someone for short-term cover. Now, he's only 6.5 million, okay? Now, he probably is the biggest benefit out of anyone that Mo Salah has tested positive. Now, even though he was already starting for Liverpool before, when he did start, he was lethal, okay? Now, he's pretty much guaranteed minutes with Mo Salah outside the team, so he ticks that box. And also, he scored a hat-trick 2 weeks ago in the Champions League that we all know about. But in his last 3 starts, he has 6 goals. Now, also, he's got 54% shot accuracy and a 23% goal conversion rate. Now, he is deadly. I had him in my team a lot last year. For Wolves, he was deadly, and he looks absolutely home and dry at Liverpool. He looks like he's scoring goals for fun when he gets the chance, and now that he's going to be a guaranteed starter, he'll be playing right alongside Mane up front, and I've got a good feeling he's going to get you good attacking returns. So if you're looking for someone for short cover, think Diogo Jota. The second player on my list that you should be keeping an eye out for is Wilfried Zaha. Now, this one here is definitely short term, because his next 3 fixtures are Burnley, Newcastle, and West Bromwich Albion. Beyond that, definitely do not keep him, sell him. But 3 weeks is about perfect cover for Mo Salah to bring him back into your squad and sell Zaha. Now, as Wilfried Zaha, if you're keeping him for the next 4 weeks, already this season, Zaha's 4th in the league for shots inside the box, and he's also inside the top 3 for big chances created. Now, against those 3 easy fixtures coming up, you would think, not guaranteed, but you would think he would get attacking returns. Now, like I said, if you're looking for short-term options, I think Wilfried Zaha is one for you to be considering. Now, the third player you should be considering, and is probably the most popular transfer in this week, and that is Bruno Fernandes. Now, he's coming in at 10.6 million. Now, this one here is a bit 50-50 for me personally, okay? Now, I'm going to give you some things to consider. Look, this one here is probably not so short term, but it can be if you really, really want to sell him and get Mo Salah back in your team. Or he's about mid to long range as well. Now, he's pretty decent at football. You probably already know about this. The thing is with me and Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United, the fixtures are not bad, but they're not that too good either, in my opinion. Now, one other thing as well, United, they're not in the best of form at the minute. They're very hot and cold. Okay, so that leaves me thinking it's a bit of a 50-50 for me, this one. But I will give you this stat, okay? If it is a short-term transfer that you're looking for, do consider Bruno, okay? Because in his next 3 fixtures, he has 2 away games. Now, how's this for a crazy stat? Bruno Fernandes, since he's been at Manchester United, he has had attacking returns in every single away game he has ever played. Every single one of them. That is mental. So if you're thinking about a short-term transfer, he's got 2 away games, surely he's guaranteed to get you points. I know I shouldn't say guaranteed. Plus, he's on set pieces, he's on penalties. That's what I said. He is a player that you could be looking beyond short term as well. But definitely think about Bruno Fernandes to take into consideration. All right, now my 4th option for you to take into consideration. Now, this one here is definitely long term, and that is Kevin De Bruyne. Coming in at 15.5 million. He's got 16% ownership. This one here is a long term, like I said before. Now, Manchester City are ranked number 1 over the next 15 weeks on the season ticker. The fixtures look amazing for Manchester City, and I can guarantee you now, I personally am looking to bring in Kevin De Bruyne. Now, it's probably not going to happen this week, but pretty much 99.9% sure that I'm going to try and get Kevin De Bruyne in by next week. He will be in my team. I can confirm that now. Hopefully, if injuries don't happen in my team anywhere else, that is a priority to bring Kevin in to my team. Now, the other thing is Manchester City are 10th in the league. Now, do you believe Manchester City are going to finish mid-table? Me neither. Definitely not. Now, you would think definitely top 4 they would finish. Me personally, I definitely think they're guaranteed to finish in the top 2. And they're 10th in the table right now. So over the next 15 weeks, you would think this is the time where they're going to propel up the table and winning matches, getting points. And I think Kevin De Bruyne will be the focal point on getting City back into the top 4. Now, good things about Kevin De Bruyne is not a rotation risk as well, but he did miss a penalty in the last game against Liverpool, albeit it wasn't the wet. He's normally a dead ball specialist. So I don't think he's going to lose penalties. I think he will keep him unless Aguero is back in the team. If Aguero isn't back in the team, I think Kevin De Bruyne is still going to be on pens, but he's still going to be taking set pieces. He is a free kick magician, corners as well. But yeah, Kevin De Bruyne is one for you to be considering. Now, my 5th and final player, if you don't already have him in your team, is Jack Grealish. He is 7.5 million, 35% owned. So that's still 65% of people out there that don't have Jack Grealish, and I was one of them. Now, Aston Villa are ranked number 1 on the season ticker for the next 7 weeks. The next 2 months look solid for Aston Villa. They got some handy fixtures coming up, and they're in some pretty good form, knocking off the likes of Arsenal last game week, and we all know they beat Liverpool 7-2. So you would think in the next 7 game weeks with the fixtures in hand, they could be picking up some handy points. Now, Jack Grealish has the most goals and assists in the league. Number 1 next to Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. So you would think common sense would tell you that Jack Grealish is going to pick up some points in the next 2 months. And of course, the handy thing about Jack Grealish as well, he's always in the final third, looking to shoot, looking to create. He's very deadly when it comes to dribbling. He's very hard to get the ball off, and he's not a rotation risk as well. We all know he is the focal point of that Aston Villa team, and I didn't have Jack Grealish in my team before this week, and I can confirm to you guys that I have already pulled the plug. I have sold Mo Salah. I did that yesterday, and I did bring in Jack Grealish. I haven't had Jack Grealish at all this season. Bring him into my team only for the next 7 game weeks. Now, like I said at the start of the video, I do have a plan to get Mo Salah back in my squad because he is a must. In my opinion, he is probably the best player in Fantasy Premier League as it comes to points, and points more important than money. So Jack Grealish in, Mo Salah is out. I can confirm that. So there we go. Hopefully some food for thought there. Hopefully this helps you with your decision whether you want to keep or sell Mo Salah. Some things for you to think about, because that's what I want to do, provide you guys value, help you with your decisions on your Fantasy Premier League journey. I've been playing this game for over a decade, and it's why I decided to make this channel FPL Studios, because I always get my mates texting me in real life, should I keep this player, should I sell this player? And to be fair, I get a lot of joy out of helping other people on their Fantasy Premier League journey. I finished in the top 3K last year, so I had an amazing season. And I'd like to say that I'm a seasoned veteran. I've been playing this game for a long time, and in fact, I intend on playing many more years. This is why I created this channel, to help a lot of you guys with your decisions. So feel free to get your questions down below. I'm here to help every single one of you guys. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want more Premier League content, hit that subscribe button, because there's a lot more coming your way. My name is Curtis. I am blessed, Fantasy Premier League obsessed. And I wish you nothing but the best. Take care.